Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to day 8 and the start of week 2 of 31 days of Horrorween. I'm posting a movie review every single day for the best month of the year. You guys know how it is. So today we are going to be talking about Lovely Molly, which was suggested by Ben Grimm. Now, Ben is also a creepy patron peep, so I'm going to use this opportunity to say thank you to my creepy patron peeps for your support of my channel. If you want to find out all the perks to being a creepy patron peep, you can follow that link in the description. And I think I said creepy patron peep 3 times in one sentence. That's a new record, I think. Directed by Eduardo Sanchez, Lovely Molly follows newlyweds Molly and Tim, who move into Molly's deceased parents' home out in the country. Tim is a truck driver, so Molly is often left alone in the house, and she soon becomes haunted by what she thinks is the ghost of her sexually abusive father. Okay, so this is a movie, spoiler alert, about demonic possession, and the demon that is indirectly referenced in the movie is Orobas, O-R-O-B-A-S, Orobas. I hope that's how you say that. Sorry, demon, if I said your name wrong. Which is a demon, obviously, with a horse head, who in demonology is said to be the great prince of hell. Also, you may recognize the name Eduardo Sanchez. He was one half of the duo that was responsible for the Blair Witch Project, and that is one of my favorite horror movies, so just had to throw that in there. So, kind of in the style of the Blair Witch Project, Sanchez does hold back on you seeing any sort of like ghost or demon, you know, throughout the movie. There is a part where you get a short glimpse of this like horse-headed demon figure, but other than that, everything else is left up to your imagination, or it's just straight up invisible, like you see stuff happening and, you know, you literally don't see anything. So aside from that one glimpse where you do see a figure with a horse head, I feel like the movie is left up to your interpretation, which I really like, because that's, at least for me, that's what I really like about the Blair Witch Project, is, you know, it's left up to your imagination, which to me is way scarier than showing any demon or ghost. But I know a lot of other people want to see what it is, and you know, it's just all up to personal taste, but I personally like not seeing this sort of thing. And it does go back and forth, and it creates a conflict in the movie of whether you as the viewer believe that the house is actually haunted and there's a demon, or if you want to believe that it is all in Molly's head, and it's like, you know, more like her being back in the house is bringing up all of these awful traumatic memories, and then in the movie she goes back to using drugs. So it could go either way, except for, I guess, when you see the demon. But that could also be, since it's, you know, from Molly's point of view, or with Molly the whole time, maybe in her mind she's seeing it, you know. So I guess like the whole movie could go either way. That being said, though, the very end of the movie is kind of the deciding factor in whether this was like like a possession thing, or just like an all in Molly's head sort of thing. So I feel like it's kind of decided for us what the answer of the movie is. So at the very end of the movie, Molly's sister goes into a very similar trance to Molly. So I assume that we're meant to understand that it's like the house, there is a demon, their parents had something to do, or their father, I'm sorry, had something to do with worshiping this demon or something, or summoning him or something like that. And so I feel like the question is kind of answered for us, which I'm not a huge fan of, because I just feel like the whole movie leading up to that very last scene could go either way. So I don't know, I just would have much rather it been left that way for the whole movie, but that's just me. Also, I feel like the movie was much more of a drama than anything when it comes to like Molly's past trauma and her drug use and things like that. I don't know, there are just a few instances between the scary scenes that was like a lot of talking, a lot of drama sort of stuff that just, I don't know. For me, it was boring as somebody who was expecting horror movie, which it is. It is still a scary movie, but it's definitely blending into different genres, which is okay, just not what I was expecting. That's what I'm trying to get at. It's not necessarily a bad thing, just wasn't what I was expecting. There we go. I also feel like there was no explanation for some things that I felt like needed an explanation, like why Molly had like a fixation with biting people. Like there's that really weird moment, an oddly violent moment where Molly is like biting her husband's like lips and he has to go get stitches. And then when she kills the pastor, he's got like bites all over him. If it had just happened once, I wouldn't have questioned it, but since it happened twice in the movie, that was like, okay, so clearly this is like something that she does. Like, what's with the biting? I don't get that. Also, her obsession with the dead deer that she finds, and with her neighbors and the little girl, like, what was the obsession with that? And then like the whole thing with the little girl's mom and like how she knows Tim, and there's like that whole weird thing where Molly sees the little girl's mom and Tim like getting it on or whatever. Like, where did that come from? Like, what the like, just things like that are like not explained, and I'm just, why I mean, I guess the little girl is kind of explained because she does end up killing, Molly ends up killing the little girl, but I don't know, she seemed like she was, you know, watching the little girl and like stalking her kind of way before she finds out about Tim, like her husband and the little girl's mom. That came out of left field. I don't know what that was supposed to be. Also, speaking of more things that I didn't understand, like why Molly kept filming things. Like, I got the parts where she was filming in the house, like, because, you know, there's an instance where this stuff keeps happening when she's at home alone, so she's like, I'm gonna film it, and you know, that'll be proof that stuff's happening. But then there's like the weird scenes kind of interspersed throughout the movie where she's just like slowly walking through the forest, watching the little girl. She finds a dead deer, and is like, is that supposed to be like her in a trance doing that? Or was this all supposed to be within a, like, was this all supposed to be one video? Like she did this all in like a matter of like one day? Because it was like interspersed throughout the movie, if that makes sense. So I assumed it was happening like, you know, she'd go out and film a little girl, and then the next one, a couple days later, she goes out and finds the dead deer. Like, I just didn't get that. Like, why was she going out and filming that? Was she like in a trance? I don't get that part. So was lovely Molly worth it? I wouldn't necessarily say no. Not for me, but I can see why a lot of people would like this movie. So I guess maybe just, you know, leave it up to your own judgment. If anything I was talking about sounded like something you would like to watch, then you're probably gonna like this movie. I guess maybe just for me, since knowing the director, and not knowing the director, but knowing who the director was, and if, you know, him having directed one of my favorite horror movies, I guess maybe my expectations were set for me by myself before I started watching the movie, and I think I was holding it up to the Blair Witch Project a little bit, which probably isn't fair, but I mean, I can't help it now. This is just how I feel about the movie right now. Maybe sometime in the future I'll dive back into this one, but for right now, I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5. On IMDb, it has a 5.3 out of 10. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 43% critic score and a 32% audience score. And on Letterboxd, it has a 2.8 out of 5. Obviously, I watched this movie on Amazon, so I'll leave an affiliate link in the description if you want to check it out that way. There's no pressure to use that link, but if you do, it does help out the channel a little bit. There's also links to all of the 31 days of Horrorween movies I've watched and reviewed thus far over on my blog. It's on the Amazon affiliate page of my blog. You can't miss it. And those are all affiliate links too, just to be transparent. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here and become a creepy peep today. I post videos Monday through Friday regularly, but I'm posting a movie review every single day of the month of October. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay strange. Bye!